Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Let's talk with LaDainian Tomlinson. He has the LaDainian Tomlinson Preparatory Academy coming up at Athens High School in July. Well, LaDainian, tell me about what student athletes can expect at your Preparatory Academy.
Yeah, John, so one of the things that we always talk about with our student athletes that attend the Preparatory Academy, we talk about three things, and that's character, education, and performance. Those are things that we focus on the most because if you think about it, those are the three things that student athletes need to focus on in order to make that next step. And so when you talk about character, you talk about someone that is doing the things the right way, doing things the right way when no one is looking, being a leader in their community, being a leader in their respective schools. And then obviously you talk about the education piece. Well, education is so important, not just in the classroom. Everyone knows that you have to have the right grades in order to play sports, but educating yourself on, your respective opponent that you might be playing that week. Educating yourself on what do you need to do to get better each and every day. And then educating yourself on the recruiting process. And that goes with, with the parents as well. Educating the parents on the recruiting process. How do their daughter or son get to the college level? Because a lot of parents don't know that. And then the last thing is the performance side. That's the easiest aspect of all of this. Performance is what makes, student athletes basically get recognized, and so, those are the three aspects that we like to talk to our kids about, and that's what they can expect.
Athens High School will be the setting for the Preparatory Academy. LaDainian, you have 2-day camp for young men. What are they going to learn about you, and what are they going to learn about themselves in those 2 days?
Well, the one thing that they'll learn about me is, for me, my motto was hard work pays off. I was a guy that I wasn't heavily recruited coming out of high school. I played a different position in high school, played fullback and played outside linebacker, and didn't get the opportunity to play running back until my senior year. But I made the most of my opportunity. But, the hard work that I put in, it gave me that chance to be successful. And, I like to say that success is defined when preparation meets opportunity. And so that's my story, but more importantly, I want to get across to the student athletes, what is your story? How will your book be written? Because we all have a book to be written. And so the one thing that you can control is the hard work that you put in, each and every day.
Well, many kids have challenges growing up, LaDainian, and how do we continue to get that message to the kids to help build their confidence and let them blossom? Things aren't always perfect in every household. We all have our own little stories. So what is your message to try to help these young people out?
Well, it goes back to that character where, everyone is going to face adversity. And, the one thing about adversity, it builds character. And so, it's no different from me. I had adversity growing up. My parents went through a divorce. That was very difficult on me. There were times where I was depressed because my father wasn't around. But you know what? It built character in me. And so a lot of these kids are going through the same situation. Don't let that stop you, from accomplishing your dreams. Let it motivate you.
Well, Danny, and you give us a little bit about some things that have happened to you on the high school level as far as recruiting-wise. When you went on to TCU and you accomplished some incredible things, what was that adaptation like for you from heading from high school to college, and how did you handle that?
It was a bit different because I no longer had mom there for me saying, hey, get up in the morning. It's time for you to go to school. I had to start to take responsibility for my own actions. I had to, set my alarm clock. I had to wash my own clothes. But, I think for me, it built some self-confidence in me. And, it was something that I needed. I needed to go away and find myself. And so I would say the first 2 or 3 months, obviously it was a struggle because it was foreign to me. It was a new place. I was now in college with older, kids. Not kids, men. You're in college with now 21-year-old men. And so, the one thing that I tried to do, though, is I made sure that I reached out to some of those older guys on my team, and I asked them questions. I asked them how to transition from high school to college. What are the things I need to do to be successful? I wasn't afraid to listen and learn from others.
And LaDainian, how about your vision going forward for the LaDainian Tomlinson Preparatory Academy and things that you want to do in your life?
Yeah, so my vision is really to create a model with this preparatory academy like no other. I really believe that, sports is just one aspect of an athlete. There's so much more that is involved in building a student athlete, and I believe student athletes can be built, from the ground up. They need to know the important principles that it takes to be a student athlete. As I mentioned, character, education, and 2 other components. So going forward, I just want to create something that student athletes can call their own. They can have this roadmap of what it looks like to make it to the next level. If you aspire to play at the collegiate level, we want to give you that roadmap and show you and teach you and educate you of what it looks like.
LaDainian, we all have people in our lives that have helped build our character, and sometimes it's a mom or a dad, or it could be a coach or a teacher, it could be somebody at a church. Who was your person that kind of helped molded you into the person you've become here as a man?
Well, there's no question. My mom. My mom just being there, being available, being present in my life every single day, even through the adverse situations. Through the ups and downs, the struggles at times, the disappointments. She was there to help me along my journey, and just to encourage me along my journey. Sometimes things happen so fast as a kid that you don't know. You don't know certain situations of why things happen, but having my mom there, to explain it and walk me through it. She is the main one to me that I give the credit to of where I am today.
Well, LaDainian Tomlinson, one of the best ever to play in the NFL, and of course his character showing through after life in the NFL and what he's doing. It is the LTacademy.com. You can check it out online July 10th and 11th. Athens High School's the setting, and then the youth camp is on July 12th. LaDainian, we appreciate your time and telling us a little bit more, and some young men here in northeastern Pennsylvania and New York, parts all over northeastern seaboard that want to get out to see you at this camp. We hope they're there.
Thank you. I hope to see you guys there.
LaDainian Tomlinson here on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.